student protesters did take over a building at Barnard College, an official college of Columbia University in New York. Again, this is overnight, and the video shows demonstrators inside the school building there. You can see them at the center of your screen. Officials at the school do say a group of students wearing masks, quote, physically assaulted a Barnard employee, causing him to be hospitalized. We do not have an update on his condition just yet. Barnard College's vice president for strategic communications releasing a statement to Fox 5 New York saying, quote, college leadership has offered to meet with protesters. Now, it sounds as though those protesters refused, but essentially at some point did leave the building. Jewish students and faculty reacting here as all of this is happening once again. We've seen this months ago, and here we are again. We do have Katie Aryeh, a Columbia University graduate, joining us live from Tel Aviv to talk all about this. Good morning, or I should say good afternoon, Katie. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, I mentioned here that we saw this situation play out on college campuses months ago, and now here you are again last night over at Barnard College watching as this all unfolds. What's going through your mind as you see that happening?
You know, I'm once again disappointed, but not surprised. Columbia and many other of these ultra-liberal elitist universities have become terror-supporting breeding grounds. We saw it all throughout last year, groups calling for the total eradication of Western civilization, chanting death to Israel, death to the Jews, and death to America. They have made their intentions very clear, and the administration has proven time and time again that they're not going to take any sort of serious action against them. And unfortunately, they're appeasing these aggressors, as they did again yesterday when they offered to meet with them after they brutally took over yet another building and assaulted yet another security officer who was just trying to protect his fellow Americans. And we have to once and for all believe these people for who they are. They say that they are Hamas, and we need to take them seriously. And if there are no consequences for their actions, it's of course going to just continue.
A lot of the schools have described these as peaceful protests. They have said that, you know, folks there are being peaceful. As we mentioned, though, the school did confirm that at least one person did have injuries as a result, as he was trying to protect that building. Do you feel that they are posing a threat to Jewish students? I want to get your take on that.
Unquestionably, not just to Jewish students, though. They're posing a threat to all students on that campus and all employees on that campus. Frankly, they're posing a threat to democracy, and they're posing a threat to our country. These are people who, as I said, claim to be Westerners advocating for the total eradication of Western civilization. As you said, they assaulted a security guard. Last year, they held another security officer hostage in a building that they took over, and they claim to be Hamas. They say we are all Hamas. They openly support a terrorist organization that just kidnapped a 9-month-old baby and his 4-year-old brother from their cribs, strangled them to death, mutilated their bodies, and then brought back their bodies in coffins and brought their children to celebrate their release. That is what these people stand for, and that is what these student protesters unquestionably and proudly support. So to call them peaceful is an insult to anybody with intelligence or morality.
I have to ask, if you could speak directly to these protesters, what would you say to them?
I would tell them that they are advocating for the people who despise them and every value that they hold dear. The reason that radical Islamic fundamentalists hate the West is because we protect the rights of these very woke poisoned protesters. We support equal rights for women and the right to love whomever you want to love. In Gaza, LGBTQ individuals get thrown off of the roofs of buildings or otherwise brutally murdered. They slaughter American and Jewish babies for the reward of 72 virgins in heaven, not women, virgins, because women who have premarital sex in these Islamic fundamentalist communities are often stoned to death, sometimes by their own fathers. These death-loving terrorists must be laughing at these protesters from their terrorist tunnels, because it is so absurd that they are supported by people who brutally murder people just like them and who support what they support. And I would ask them, are they so void of godliness and morality that they're willing to side with the people who raped women and mutilated babies in their cribs and burned whole families alive? Because at the end of the day, this is not just a Jewish issue. It is not just an Israeli issue. It is not even just an American issue. It's an attack on humanity and morality. And I would tell them that I am proud to stand on the other side of them.
All right, Katie, as of right now, we are still waiting to figure out if there's been any arrests, any charges, anything of that nature. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and share your perspective. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And I do want to take you out to this statement that we do have coming in from Barnard College here. It's actually from Columbia University itself, saying, quote, "The disruption of academic activities is not acceptable conduct. Barnard College is a separate institution from Columbia University, although it is affiliated. Columbia is not responsible for security on Barnard's campus. The disruption that is taking place at Barnard's Milbank Hall is not on Columbia's campus, and Barnard's leadership and security team are addressing the current situation. We're committed to supporting our Columbia student body and our campus community during this challenging time." Again, that is a statement from Columbia University that was released overnight. At this point, it is not clear if anyone has officially been charged, but if we find out more about that, we will bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox.